Hello and welcome to the Sewanee Broadcasting Network. My name is Spencer King. I'm here alongside former Sewanee player Larry Matt. It's the second home game of the season for the Sewanee Tigers, and it comes against a familiar opponent in Huntington. Ball put into the box, some early action there. Hal Johnson looking to the skies as he had a chance, just flash wide. Larry, it's glad to have you back on air with me.
Yeah, happy to be here, Spencer. How you doing?
Doing very well. It seems Sewanee will be expecting to get all 3 points and to get the win tonight. It's come against a team that they feel they've underperformed a little bit in recent years, but Huntington have yet to win a game this season.
Right, yeah, I think the expectation is to win this game. Last year it was a close game, and it probably shouldn't be. Sewanee dominated, as they did Covenant. They won against Huntington last year. But Huntington, of course, 2 games ago, they lost. They were able to build on it and beat a good team last game out in Virginia. So I'm expecting a good one.
Sewanee have already had a little bit of dangerous possession. Turk got in there, involved early on. Brendan Mann turns it. Alpo hooves it forward. Johnston does draw the foul. Number 16 scored the game-winning goal this past weekend, the only goal of the game.
He did, and I mean, it wasn't the most pretty of goals, but it found its way in overtime, and that's a really important win for them. Getting back to 500, they're now 2-2. Hopefully, they can get the win here and move on to 3-2.
Here's Alpo looking to serve the ball. Floats it into the center of the box. Huntington trying to deal with it.
And I'd expect to see a lot of that. I'd expect Sewanee to get down those wings, find guys like Turk and Thompson on those wings, and just heave balls into the center to big Kyle Johnson, who I'll say was actually the Tiger of the Week here. So that's a big award for him.
Johnny McNeil plays back to the goalkeeper, Murray. Murray on his right foot, surveying his options, taking his time on the ball as there's no press. Huntington still sitting back. A little bit of a stalemate going on here. Huntington, not sure why they're not pressuring the ball here. Sewanee willing to take their time. I think it shows you a little bit, Larry, of their mentality into this game. They're going to sit back maybe.
I think absolutely, yeah. I think you're completely right. I think they're going to sit in. I think they know that Sewanee's the better team, not only historically but including this year. The record shows it. Huntington is 0-4. They've scored 5 goals, but they just have not been able to get a win yet. So I'd expect Sewanee to have an attacking mentality, whereas Huntington is more likely to probably sit in, at least for this first half.
Solbin Vaith involved there. getting the start as he gets back up to full fitness. Here's the corner. Johnson at the near post, and that's in the back of the net. 1-0 Sewanee, already off to a good start.
And exactly what they needed to do. Bad marking there by Huntington. You have a front post ball sent in. Kyle Johnson, the biggest man on the field, gets his head on it. Back post glide. 1-0 here at Pitt.
That was very poor marking indeed. Kyle Johnson left completely unmarked, as you said. It was only going to be going one place, and that's in the back of the net. Maybe if Sewanee can get a few early goals, it'll give them an opportunity to rest some of these players who started to see that mileage add up. College soccer season is very short, especially at the D3 level. A lot of games in quick succession, and here Huntington in possession on the right-hand side. Driving forward. Referee gives the whistle. And I'm sure striker Kyle Johnson will be thirsty for more goals in this one, as will the rest of the Sewanee 11. Ball put in, served. First little bit of danger for Sewanee. Alpo got the touch.
Good pressure there by Turk. I mean, it wasn't all his pressure right there, but I think the defender heard his footsteps coming and wasn't able to get a touch there.
So he brings it down. Thompson calling for it. As Ethan Dudka did play the cross ball. Here's Mann pinging one forward. Well done. Chested down, put into the box, but will actually go wide and high instead. I believe that was Zach Burkhead there down on the left-hand flank.
And so I'll mention Sewanee is playing with three in the back here. So you got Zach Burkhead, Johnny McNeil, and Ethan Dutka here at that back three. It's a short back three minus Johnny McNeil. It's a very attacking formation. They want to get the ball up to their wingers as fast as they can, high press those center backs of Huntington, and cause as many turnovers as they can.
And in tougher games, head coach Tony Pacello will be expecting his wingers to drop back a little bit and provide extra support when needed.
Right. Well, who knows? I mean, against a tougher team, I think Coach Tony Pacello is willing to switch it up a little bit, maybe play four in the back, even five in the back. That five in the back would be a similar formation to what they're playing right now with three.
Ben Vaith here. The long throw in. Johnson at the near post. Ball bouncing around. Velasco got it in the back of the net, but the referee called a push off.
See, they call the foul, but Huntington still, again, terrible marking. Just absolute laziness out there.
They're going to have to get into the game and very quickly because Sewanee are not looking like they're letting up here at the moment. Already 1-0 up. Thompson is brought down. Sporting the number 7. Thompson, what a bright star he is for Sewanee. Only a freshman. The last home game here last week, Thompson was, in my opinion, the best player on the pitch. Roamed up and down, dominated, was always dangerous.
Right, and I think that's a luxury when you have guys like Andrew Turk and Thompson on those wings. They bring speed, but they can also put it in the back of the net, which is an extremely important thing when your season isn't that long. I mean, you've got to win games, and you've got to win them fast.
Sewanee had another half chance there. Now it is Huntington in possession at the back. Ben Vaith. Oh, and Kyle Johnson will have an opportunity one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He puts in the back of the net. That's his second of the night. Go, Sewanee, 2-0 up.
And again, that's that high pressure. I mean, obviously the Huntington center back made a little bit of a mistake there. Not sure what he was going for, but again, it's that high press that creates the turnover. You got a 2-on-1 situation. Ben Vaith finds captain Kyle Johnson with a 1v1 with a goalie, and he does what he does best, putting it in the back of the net.
Now, Larry, I bring this up maybe a bit early, and I'm sure we'll talk about it a little later on, but at what point do you expect to see players like Kyle Johnson, Turk, these crucial players for the team that have a lot of mileage under their legs, subbed out in a game like this?
Well, I think it's still early here. You know, you've got 37 minutes still left on the board in the first half. But I expect Coach Pasella to be trying to get fresh legs in. You know, they're headed back to Virginia this weekend, so they've got some really important games, including Washington and Lee. So I'd expect some of these guys to come out soon here, but not too soon. I mean, Huntington could get back in this and change the game. Great touch again by Kyle Johnson.
On the left-hand side, here's Thompson. Johnson pushing forward, looking for his hat trick. Ball served. Nicely deflected there from the Huntington defender. That was Kyle Lovelock, a freshman. Got the deflection and brings it down. Still dancing, left foot shot. And it just went wide. Should have flash of brilliance there. Sophomore Brendan Mann did. .35 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in the first half. This ball will go right back to the goalkeeper.
Go Hawks, talk to each other, talk about it. Work it, boys.
It's important if you're Sewanee to make sure you maintain your positive habits here. In some games you go up early, you're not going to be tested like you will in conference play. Just as a team. Oh, and the ball, this will be dangerous. Just goes wide. Huntington with a chance there.
Exactly right, Spencer. I mean, you want to be ambitious here, but you don't want to be ambitious to the point where you're putting yourself in situations like that, right? Where that Huntington forward was able to get in behind.
Definitely did have an opportunity there. I'm not sure if it was a little bit of miscommunication at the back. Johnny McNeil hoofs it forward. Zach Burkhead looking for the throw in. Ball goes out into the bushes. A little bit of a breather for both teams. See some coaching there from the sideline from the visiting team. Huntington have played in 4 games. They've scored 5 goals. They lost in overtime to Birmingham Southern 3-2. Here's Velasco. Nicely played.
And that's a great switch by Brendan Mann there. Opens up his hip, finds Ethan Dutka, and now Dutka can go forward.
Aggressive ball there from Dutka. Kyle Johnson was the intended target. Ben Vaith, Jr. Can Andrew Turk keep it in? Yes, he can. Uses his pace down on the right-hand side. Puts it in the box. Defender was there, well positioned. Nice one touch. Alpo on it again. Tried from distance.
And not a bad go from Alpo. I mean, he, like I've said before, he can really use both feet. Both as he's predominantly right-footed, but he's always eager to get on his left and have a go.
and also have a go from distance. As you know, you played with him in high school
Right,
and
right.
in college. Thompson tried to keep that one in. He wasn't able to. Huntington will have a little bit of possession, need to try to sit on the ball, breathe, get some sort of structure to their play. On the right-hand side, dribbling, going down, trying to get past Zach Burkhead, but wasn't able to, and it'll have to be a Sewanee goal kick.
And so as you were saying earlier about, when does Coach Pasella take out, some of these crucial players, you will remember from 2 games ago, Sewanee versus Covenant. Sewanee absolutely dominated Covenant in the first 15 minutes, really of each half, and, went up 1 goal, but it really just turned around right away, went down 2 goals. So I expect Sewanee to keep going at him here.
Here's Thompson. Puts one in. Goalkeeper was there. Nicely done. Strong, firm hands. And you're exactly right. You need to make sure that the result is without a doubt, really, before you do pull the players. Also, there has been talks that the game in Virginia, that road trip, will be canceled due to the hurricane threat. We'll keep you tuned on that. I'm sure at the Sewanee Soccer men's Twitter and Instagram pages, you'll be all over that.
Right, of course. Yeah, I'll be keeping up with that, and I'll let all you live streamers know about that soon. But I think the boys would love to play. It's always a great opportunity to go to places like Virginia.
Velasco from distance scuffed it just a bit. Ball cleared out to the center of the park. As Johnston brings it down. Nicely done there from Kyle Johnston. Burkhead elects to go forward. Here's Alpo in an attacking position. Strokes one to Vaith. Ball played over to Mann. Mann picks it up. Velasco's turning. Nicely done. Got it off his foot quickly. Johnson on the left-hand side plays it out. Thompson will have an opportunity to cross it. It was a little bit high. Andrew Turk's back on it. Try to shield this one out for a throw-in. Junior Ben Vaith trotting over. He's looking to take his patent long throw-in. See if Huntington can improve their focus on the corners and marking. And Johnson had an opportunity. Just fizzed wide of the left post.
Again, Kyle Johnson is all over the place. Bad marking by Huntington. I'd expect Sewanee to try and get as many corners and throw-ins as they can going forward.
They don't really have anyone to measure up to the height of Kyle Johnson or Johnny McNeil.
Working together.
Velasco trying to pick this up. Here's Thompson. Heavy touch. Turk look to go from distance. Takes a shot. Goalkeeper saves. Well driven in there. Huntington launched this one high. McNeil cleared what was an ugly ball. Huntington in possession in the center of the park. McNeil across the pitch. Here's Velasco.
I think Sewanee's showing they're not afraid to send in some long balls. They've already been in favor of most of the turnovers here. So anything they can create off, a bad bounce, or maybe a bad touch, they're going to take here.
That's the best bit of play I've seen out of Huntington so far, but the result was the same as the players clobbered with it. His own teammate put it in, and Hill goes down to the ground. Larry, can you remind us of the first half substitution rule?
Yeah, so the rule for D3 college soccer is that once a player is taken out in the first half, they cannot return. So that's an important thing when you're coaching your squad. You have to be cognizant of when you want to take out those crucial players. Usually center backs will play an entire 90 and unless something happens. But I expect with the lead, we'll be getting a lot of changes, mostly from forwards, wingers, and into center mids.
Oppo playing the 1-2 with Johnston, who switches it.
That's great combination play. It opens up Ethan Dutka along the right wing. And he's a fantastic player. I mean, he holds the ball really well on his feet. He plays above his height. He does not, I mean, he's not the tallest person out there, but realistically, I mean, he's playing a center back position right now, and he's holding it down.
There's Alpo showing his defensive capabilities. Turk driving forward. Look at the pace. Dutka. Under hit that a little bit, but it's a bad touch. Velasco plays it out to Thompson. Ball just poked away.
But see, there's a ball, right, where, you know, it's not the best of balls, but it creates a turnover in the final third of Huntington and creates a scoring opportunity.
You see that in the professional game. Teams like Liverpool thrive off of, may not even a set offense. It's when you lose the ball and you counter press, the opportunities you're able to create from that.
Absolutely. And you know, this system with 3 center backs, or just 3 in the back as it is, does not work unless you high press. It's made so you have, you have a lot of presence in the middle of the field, but also on the wings. And if everyone's not stepping high when they need to be, the system breaks down. And I think early here, Sewanee's playing really well with that system.
Here's McNeil. Junior from North Carolina. Here's Velasco with a lot of space, driving, turning onto his right-hand side. Plays it off to Mann. And couldn't quite get his feet set.
And they've got to hurry back here, right? They're outnumbered a little bit, of course, you know, another turnover here. But they cannot get too relaxed in this system of high press. One of the downfalls of this system is when you're up so high, and the team figures out how to break through it, your center mids and your wingers have got to get back and help those back 3.
We're working hard. Talk about it.
Dutka wisely lets that one run out of play. Johnny McNeil enjoying the possession he's gotten on the ball tonight. Alpo dropped very deep to pick this one up. Drive the team forward. Burkhead. Velasco plays it. Now Johnson has it. Nice one touch and movement from Sewanee. Well worked. Brilliant switch. Here's Turk. Ball played in. Just picked up from Huntington.
Go boys, keep working.
Johnson at the back post. Plays it off to Turk on the right-hand side. Turk serves it. Just sails wide. A little bit over the head of Kyle Johnston. Thompson was also making a run. Coach Tony Pasella having a little bit of a change here. Turk will go on the left-hand side, Thompson on the right. I'll keep you updated on the players who are limbering up on the sideline. Faith got a touch to it. Sewanee do a bit of defending here. Could create an opportunity. Ball coming in. Shot on goal. Murray couldn't quite handle it. Nicely done there from Dudka. Down. Huntington with another opportunity and it's skied. Ball bouncing. Difficult shot. Couldn't get the angles right.
And you were mentioning injuries. You'll note that James Murray is in net tonight, as he will for most of the season, as Will Merriman, senior goalkeeper, is hurt. He tore his ACL in this summer. A bad loss for Sewanee, but James Murray is equally capable of getting the job done.
Turk flying down, now on the left. Back on it. Here's Andrew Turk on his right foot. Looks to serve a ball near post. Brendan Mann now tries to work and give Sewanee possession back, and he does. Before it's then given away once again. Here come Huntington. Ben Vaith working hard. Oh, that's a poor ball. Not sure if he was going for goal or trying to whip it in on a cross, but either way.
There was a little bit of hesitation from Ethan Dudka there. You'll notice there might have been a misunderstanding between Ben Vaith and Ethan Dudka, and that's one of these things that Sewanee's going to need to get better at as the season gets better, is who goes to the ball first when the ball is on the width. And I know Coach Pasella has been probably harping on that in practice, so we'll see how Sewanee does going forward.
Ben Vaith chested on. What a great touch. Velasco. He's got to switch on to Thompson if he sees it. He does play it. Nicely executed. Thompson brings it down. Past one. Shot from distance. Wide right. Not a bad strike. Good contact. Here's the first substitution of the night for Sewanee. Zach Zimmerman, the senior. Midfielder, defender, wherever you want to play him. He's capable.
Right, and that's a good sub. You sub out, an attacking player like Ben Vaith, and you put in a very defensive-minded player in Zach Zimmerman. He's a senior here. He likes to make hard tackles. He's sound. He communicates a lot, which is very important in these types of games.
There's Kyle Johnston on the right wing. You don't see that too often. Zach Zimmerman.
And that's a fine play. Zach Zimmerman isn't taking any chances. He didn't hesitate to get to the ball, but he made sure that Huntington could not get it. And with 20 minutes left to go, I can't help but think the main focus is just getting into half with a Huntington scoreless.
Head coach Tony Pasella is on the sidelines giving some instructions to what appears to be Ben Vaith. Sewanee constantly trying to learn and improve as it's early on in the season. Dudka. Oh, that's a great ball. Velasco juggling, playing with it, still on the ball. Thompson will have it with his right foot, plays it back in the middle of the box. Defender was there. Zach Zimmerman chasing. Bit of pace there from the Huntington winger.
And without that pace, Huntington was completely outnumbered, in their offensive zone. I think it was 2-on-5, even with that high pressure. So I think that's a fantastic job by Sewanee, finding their positions and outnumbering this Huntington team.
17 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in the first half. Here's Thompson with his left foot, takes a strike, goalkeeper bobbled it, somehow able to maintain it.
And that's a fantastic shot, but you'll notice Ethan Dutka's overlapping run to the right forced that Huntington defender to give Thompson the left that he wanted, and Thompson had a go and almost a goal.
Every time the freshman gets it on his foot and looks to take a strike, whole stadium, whole audience is sitting there waiting in anticipation. That's how capable he is. Here's Mann, nicely done. Really athletic player.
And now I'm not sure if this was a game plan, but Turk is now on the left side, and Thompson is now on the right. So, not saying that either player has a bad foot, but I would expect both players to now want to cut in if they're going to remain on their current sides.
It was an interesting move. Coach Tony Pasella, he did motion for that change, and I wonder if it's just to vary the attack a little bit.
I think it is. I think it's to keep Huntington on their feet. Some players, wingers, prefer to be on their offside, where they can catch the ball, on their off foot, and then cut inside to their into their strong side, and maybe have a go, or maybe have some combination play.
Just had an audience member hit by that stray ball.
Right. It was a little scary.
That's why you got to stay off your phone, folks. Watch the game.
We're up here in the safe zone, so we're good.
Johnston, nicely done. Stroked home. Bit of drama there. Kyle Johnson with the push. Wasn't happy with the challenge from behind. Frustrated at that. See how the referee sorts this one out. Keeps the game in check. Calm from the referee. Johnson's never going to be backing down. Here's Alpo. Exhaling. Probing his options. At the back post. Johnston's on it! The goalkeeper made the save. Couldn't quite get the pace he needed for it to go past the goalkeeper, but not a bad opportunity.
What a night from Kyle Johnston already. I mean, it's not even the end of the first half. He's got 2 goals here. Looking to add to that. Again, in a dangerous spot. A good ball from Alpo Sapia. And this has just been a very dangerous half from Sewanee.
I talked to Kyle Johnston. He had a disappointing penalty miss. It's really frustrating him as the switch is on if Sewanee can find it.
They do. And again, Ethan Dutka allowing for that space into Thompson. And you'll notice there's 3 back. Alpo will stay back. So the system is really well trained and really well done by Coach Tony Pasella.
Just to finish what I was saying, Kyle Johnston told me just last week that if he felt he could get the goal after the penalty miss, that they wouldn't stop coming. And he had one last game, and now he's got 2 here in the first half. It's often how it works out with strikers. Just get that bit of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you see it at the highest levels of soccer. Even the Harry Kanes, the Mohamed Salahs, they all go through, times where they just can't get anything to go. But just one goal can really turn it around, and they get into a rhythm.
Well worked from Sewanee. Great idea. Caught Huntington unaware. Ball bouncing around, cleared out. Encouragement from the Sewanee bench, trying to make sure that the team stays focused and 100% locked into the game. Zimmerman elevated and flew into that challenge. Just going back to that earlier incident, Kyle Johnson and the Huntington player, I think it was well done from the referee not to brandish any yellow cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's early here. It's only the first half. Hopefully nothing gets chippy here, but, you know, I would expect this to be a clean game going forward.
Ball went out of bounds. At least that's what the referee deemed, and Huntington will have the goal kick.
And here comes two subs. Looks like Marco Randazzo and, if my eyes are correct, oh, okay. Zach Shopovic is coming into the game.
I think so. We'll have to double check that. But Marco, sporting the right knee brace, has had fitness concerns and missed a season for Sewanee, but he's very talented on the ball. One of Sewanee's most technical players. This ball goes out of bounds. No, it doesn't. It stays in somehow. McNeil clears up the pitch.
And back to Marco Randazzo, I think, you know, one of his most redeeming soccer qualities is his ability to hit from distance. He's had some great goals for Sewanee in the past, and, you know, I expect if he gets a chance at goal, he's going to take it.
Sewanee need to be careful here. Stay alert. Know your man and stay with him. As the ball does come in, Murray deals with it. Referee whistles. Perhaps a bit of theatrics, but maybe not. You often see that goalkeepers, when they do get hit, go down early, but if it is a serious blow for the Tigers goalkeeper, it will be concerning.
Well, it looks like he is getting up, but it is a slow process. But yeah, he'll be okay. But they do have Evan Stuber. Evan Stuber is the third goalkeeper here. Evan Stuber, he's put in the game most games when they are behind with about 10-15 minutes left, just to kick the ball up as far as he can, and maybe give Sewanee a chance to get a bad bounce or something like that.
We did see that. Sewanee's disappointing defeat to Covenant last week. Oh, it's a bad clearance. Velasco. Ball still bouncing around. Man slides, goes down.
And Brendan just can't finish that. Upset with himself. But Huntington was all over it after that goalkeeper made the first stop.
Sewanee wasting no time with the corner. Whistle's blown though, and Sewanee will secede possession. Another two players, excuse me, it's the same ones, still waiting on the sidelines. Johnson using his power, his physicality to get onto this one. Nicely played. Brendan Mann on his left foot, plays it on the left-hand side. Here's Turk, right foot. Goalkeeper came up. Not a bad idea.
And Sewanee's really winning all of these 50-50 balls here as Kyle gets in.
Johnson still on it. Played the ball into the middle of the box. Comes Huntington. It's been a pattern of play. Huntington get possession, but quickly give it up again, and lead themselves into more danger and pressure from an attacking Sewanee side tonight. Would expect for the substitution to be made now. Players there at the halfway line motioning to the referee to make a change. Here comes the service. Johnson.
And Kyle's winning absolutely every head ball. So I'd expect, continuing to get balls into that danger area. And the high pressure really is forcing these quick turnovers and allowing Sewanee to get balls into those dangerous areas.
As I mentioned, Huntington just have nobody to match up height and physicality-wise with Kyle Johnson. Very few teams do. Really big striker.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing the effects of getting Kyle on the ball as much as possible. I mean, Kyle's been on the ball, I would say almost 50% of this game, when it's in his area. So we're seeing the effects of it. He's absolutely dominating out there.
8 minutes and counting down here in the first half. Sewanee 2, Huntington 0. Do have an opportunity to try to pull one back. It'll be from a free kick. Maybe 35, 37 yards out. It'll be serviced. Oh. Andrew Turk there. Had that ball go off his boot, but Evan Murray was there. Excuse me. Goalkeeper Murray was there. Oh, this will be an opportunity.
Another one for Brendan Mann.
Can he take it? Goalkeeper, well done.
And they're pleading for a handball here. Let's see what the ref has to say.
He waves it off. Kyle Johnson was one of those calling for it, maybe trying to get his hat trick. It's going to be tough for Sewanee to get that call as they're already 2-0 up. Dudka brings it down. Sprays it up top.
Good ball from Thompson there. Can he find Turk out wide? Ooh.
Didn't see it. Well done there from Alpo. Nicely dribbled there. Still taking it. Plays it out wide left. Connects. Oh, well done. Good bit of play here from the visitors. Sewanee defense having to stand up a little bit. Burkhead. Sewanee looked to counter through the ground. Johnson wanted it up top. Thompson keeping it close to his foot. Now goes with his pace. Puts it in. Johnson here. Once again cleared out. Nice bit of defending.
And it's weird. It's almost as if Andrew Turk and Thompson Scullert are clones of each other with just, other dominant foots. They both very quick players, both like to get out at their defenders, and both have played really well tonight.
Drew Zolper is coming on as well as Marco.
And so Drew Zolper, a natural center back, will slide into a forward position here, most likely just to hold things up. But he's a very good player, much like his brother Bobby, vocal, strong, tall, and I expect he'll be a great leader here in the years to come.
Shopovich, number 34, also fitting in up top. Another change. Here come wholesale changes to the Sewanee 11. Freshman number 22, Nick Zanchi from Louisville, Kentucky, is also on the pitch. Zimmerman played a ball. Nick Zanchi is another one of those freshmen. So many in the freshman class.
Yeah, and I think all of them have their own soccer qualities. 2 starting freshmen here tonight, but others are destined to get their chance, a chance that, a lot of them have been waiting for patiently. So it'll be exciting to see some of these guys get some action.
Sitting here waiting on the Huntington player to get up on his feet. Looks to be grabbing his leg, little part of his leg, trying to stretch it out, hobbling. Possibly an Achilles. He goes back down. Sewanee trainer tending to him. Hope that's nothing serious. Applause as the Huntington player back up on his feet. Play resumes. Oh, look at a strong header there from Zolper.
And as you noted, some of those injuries, Drew Zolper's brother, Bobby Zolper, senior captain, out with an injury. He'll be back soon, as well as Ndile Tashuma, forward, sophomore forward to be exact. But we really hope to get those guys back soon because they're crucial pieces to this Sewanee puzzle.
Zach Burkhead shielding the attacking player. Wisely done. James Murray, the goalkeeper, will have some time. Sewanee in no rush. Mind, switch it over to Johnny McNeil, who's got the big leg. 3 minutes and counting down remaining here. Still 2-0. Kyle Johnson with both of the goals. Zimmerman. Zolper won it. Here come Huntington. Just caught from behind. Zanchi called for the foul. Johnny McNeil, a danger reverse clearance. Not many balls end up in the opposing team's possession when you get it around Johnny McNeil. Almost everything seems to be cleared, slide tackled away or won.
Yeah, I think that's a nice luxury that Sewanee has. When you've got Kyle Johnston on one side and you've got Johnny McNeil on the other side, both around 6'5", 6'6", most of those balls are going to get cleared in their area.
Velasco lofts one. Oh, nice bit of movement there, and the ball cleared out. That'll be an own goal.
And that'll go to Drew Zolper, freshman forward / center back. But again, Huntington turnovers are really killing him here.
Goalkeeper a little bit slow to get off of his feet. Credit to Sewanee for putting that ball in a dangerous area, but Huntington made a real mess of it. That'll be 3-0. Goal right before the end of the first half. He locks this one up. It'd be a mountain to climb if Huntington were to try to get back into the match. You do see Tony Pasella maybe looking around at tactics a little bit. I'm a bit surprised to see Zolper up there at the striker position. And moving around forwards, left to right side with Thompson and Turk, just getting a feel for where players can play. These are the games to do that.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining in the first half.
Nicely done there. Marco got on it, wanted to shoot from distance. Referee telling Zolper to get 10 yards. Alpo on it. One of the few players not to be substituted. Tried an ambitious ball. Wasn't able to connect.
But I think Alpo's had an amazing first half. I mean, he maybe has not been the most active player necessarily on the ball, but his decision making has been fantastic. When those center backs slide up and get wide, Alpo has been sliding in beneath them to cover for him. So that's great out of him.
And there we have it. The end of the first half. Sewanee up 3-0. Solid performance from the Tigers. They'll be looking to get some fresh subs on here in the second half and continue their winning ways. There we have it. My name is Spencer King. I'm here alongside Larry Matt. We look forward to having you back for the second half. This is the Sewanee Broadcasting Network. Hello and welcome back to the second half. Suwanee up 3-0 against Huntington. Looking to add to that lead. Pile on the misery for the visitors. It is the starting 11 that Suwanee started the game with. It was a great performance in the first half. Kyle Johnson got 2 goals, and then Drew Zolper got involved. Not sure if it was an own goal or who the goal was credited to, but they got the third one right before the end of the first half, and Alpo almost immediately will have another service opportunity.
And you'll see that play right there. Zach Burkhead flying down the left wing. Took 2 men with him. So a good play by Coach Tony Vasella. Opens up that an extra man in the box for Alpo to whip a ball into and create a dangerous situation.
Saw that in the first half where he wasn't marked and they did play him. Dudka. Nicely played there from Alpo's left foot. A game like this speaks a lot to the character and the discipline in the squad, the leadership as well. To kind of come out, not be focused, or are they going to do what they need to do? The small things, pay attention to the details, try to improve where they can.
Yeah, I think this is a really important half for Suwanee to keep their composure, but also keep their confidence. But you know, a structured confidence where they enjoy the game they're playing, but you know, but not getting too cocky. And they're playing like that right now.
Brilliant bit of play, connecting. Good touches, hard, strong passes. Ben Vaith, a long throw in. Suwanee isolating Kyle Johnson like you said they would. Oh, whistle just wide. Velasco wanted his, what I believe is still looking for his first collegiate goal. Maybe mistaken on that, but came very close.
I believe he had one last year, but back to the Kyle Johnson isolation thing, I think that's a second half game plan for Suwanee here. Obviously Kyle Johnson with 2 goals in the first half, absolutely dominating this Huntington back line. So I expect Suwanee to get him in 1v1 situations. Obviously he was doubled there, but we'll see as the game progresses.
Defka whistled for the foul. Outside of the box, this may spell danger for Suwanee. If Huntington were to get one back, it would make things a bit more interesting. They need to take this crucial moment in the match, and the ball lacks the quality, couldn't connect where he wanted to. Get the dip on it, and it sailed high and wide. Hopped up on there on Velasco, but Kyle Johnson could bring it down. It's a dangerous ball. If he would have been able to get the touch there, it would have been a one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see how Huntington's going to respond in the second half, whether they're going to change up their structure, maybe a little bit of their formation to compensate for Kyle Johnson up top. But yeah, we'll see. Here comes Andrew Turk flying down the right wing.
Oh, that's a good ball! Just couldn't make the contact, Ben Vaith.
And Andrew Turk down on the right side. Ref calling for time.
That'd be a huge loss for Suwanee to lose a player.
Absolutely.
Holding his hip flexor groin area. Not sure if it's a muscular problem or it was an impact injury. Suwanee won't be taking any risks with their players tonight. Injuries are an important role in how seasons end up finishing for teams in Division III soccer, because as I was mentioning in the first half, the games come thick and fast. You play a game, the next day you're playing another one, so back-to-backs are brutal. You don't have much time to recover. Staying fit and healthy is just absolutely vital.
And I think it's important all the way up to the professional level. To win a championship, it takes not even luck of the draw, but how you respond to injuries. I mean, every team's going to have at least one injury throughout the season. But I think Sewanee's lucky enough to have an extremely deep bench, really talented young players as well as some veterans on the bench that they can look to, when those injuries do come. And they already have come, obviously. As we mentioned earlier, Bobby Zolpern and Dile Deshuma out.
Oh, deflected around. Goalkeeper got a glove to it. Referee whistled for the foul.
The Huntington goalkeeper has to be stronger in that punch away. He really gives an opportunity to Kyle to get his third goal, his hat trick, which I know he's craving at this point. Absolutely craving.
Sewanee forced some errant passes. Ball goes out of bounds. Thompson has it. Sewanee have registered 15 shots, 9 of them on goal. Thompson with his left foot. Tried at it. Volley from distance, still on it. Johnson will have an opportunity, left foot. Goalkeeper saves. Just shot a little bit too close to the goalkeeper. Couldn't roof it. That was nearly it. Comparison to Sewanee's now 16 shots and 10 on goal. Huntington have only 4 shots and 1 on goal.
Yeah, and Huntington really have not tested James Murray out at the other side.
Near post, now bouncing back post. Here's McNeil. Plays forward. Man, Thompson from distance. Strikes, deflected. Whole Sewanee bench raising their hand. Signal to the referee it was a handball. The referee didn't see it. Thompson.
And again, Thompson looking to get in on his left foot. I like him on the right side. He's a dangerous player when he cuts in on his left.
Whoa, brilliant pass. Just found Thompson there, still cutting, still turning, tries the pass. Faith in here now working. Huntington trying to break.
And again, Sewanee all over him with that high press. Brendan Mann, a great strong player there. Wins the ball back, gets the foul. And now Sewanee have another set piece where they can look to find Kyle's head.
And I saw veteran, captain, leader, real heartbeat of this team, Bobby Zolper, telling Brendan Mann to do what he just did there, which was stay physical against this team. Don't let him be pushed off the ball. And that just shows you the value of leadership in the squad. I think it directly affected that play right there. And Alpo pings one in. Johnson at the back post. Johnson has it. And it goes off the bar. Very nearly the hat trick he so desperately wants.
That isolation is just absolutely suffocating Huntington's defense. They have no way to counter it, and no one big enough, strong enough to mark up Kyle Johnson in the box.
What a delivery that was as well from Alpo. It's
right.
Very few players in this league, in this conference, are capable of creating something like that. It's pure magic. Nicely done.
Thompson back out on this left side. Let's see what he can do.
He's got bags of pace. Puts it in. Johnson nearly on it again. Another opportunity. It's all about the freshman Thompson. Johnson is down slowly, as well as a Huntington player. Not sure if there was some sort of collision there. Sewanee registered 8 fouls, Huntington 5. Sewanee are 2-2 on the season. Look to be heading to that 3-2 record as I mentioned previously. Huntington 0-4, look to be falling to 0-5. Applause as the player slowly gets back up on his feet, tries to walk it off. Nice cool temperature for what's getting closer to fall here on the Cumberland Plateau at Pewitt Field.
It is.
Campus.
And I
One's routinely ranked in the top 10, top 15 most beautiful campuses.
Right, and I think that's an important thing, as you mentioned, the weather, how that comes into play in the length of the season. I mean, when it gets cold out here, you see a little bit more of muscle strains. So it's important for these guys to take care of their body, eat well, hydrate a lot, and once it gets into playoff times, it's about 40 degrees around here. So
I do know there's been a renewed focus on stretching as well, which is a big important factor. And Johnson will have it on his right foot. Will he go from distance? Going past one, takes a strike and it's deflected.
And he's very eager to get that third, as you can see. Inches away again.
Ben Vaith taking his time for the long throw in. Andrew Turk subbed off. Actually, I think Marco started the second half. I may be mistaken, but ball played forward.
And Kyle Johnson again in behind.
Oh, what a ball! Oh, Marco with his left foot. That's in the back of the net. Goal! Sewanee 4-0. Brilliant link-up play.
And what an unselfish play there from Kyle Johnson. I mean, he has the opportunity to go for a goal. Finds that beautiful cutting pass into Marco Randazzo. Marco Randazzo takes a beautiful first touch and finishes it off. 4-0 Sewanee with about 36 minutes to play here at Pewitt Field.
The long night is only going to get longer for Huntington. I said they had a mountain decline in the first half, but now here, finding themselves down 4-0, mountain might as well be as big as Mount Everest. And flying forward, aggressive. It's a feeding frenzy for the Sewanee Tigers. Burkett. Referee whistles. They're trying to get a little bit of a lifeline to Huntington. You wonder how much longer this core squad of the starting 11 will be on the pitch. Do risk injury.
Right, I do expect some changes here coming soon. Now with a 4-goal cushion, I'd expect some of these younger guys to get, a bit of a chance here.
Ball sailed high, never giving visiting team an opportunity. Johnny McNeil on it. Dudka. Back to McNeil. Man, thought about the challenge, didn't go for it, played the angle instead, and it turned out to be the right move. He's brilliant tonight.
He is. He's a smart player, obviously. He had those 2 unlucky finishes that didn't go his way, but he's just looked extremely intelligent on the ball, not only offensively but defensively, as you just saw there. And that's a hard tackle on Ben Vaith.
A little bit of dissent there.
And some pushing going on between Ben Vaith and number 7 of Huntington.
Crowd.
A card will be shown to both Ben Vaith and number 7 of Huntington. And it's important for Sewanee to be smart here.
Not getting anyone sent off.
Right, you'd hate for in a game like this with a 4-goal cushion to have one of your better players shown a red. So we'll see if Sewanee can be smart here in the waning minutes of the first half, or the second half, sorry.
If you're Huntington, that's not a bad strategy. Try to get under the hair of some of these players. Tip the balance, ball at the back post. It's dealt with. Be straightforward there. Led by head coach Matt Cooper, Huntington has a roster that's very young. It's a team that's looking for the future. A little bit less so right now, so this will be a team to watch in the coming years, maybe 2 to 3 years. They'll develop into the final picture of what head coach Matt Cooper has in mind.
Of course, and I think they're two very similar programs. I think Sewanee is a little bit ahead of where Huntington is in their regroup process, but Sewanee similar, a young team. Cumulatively they've had about 20 freshmen and sophomores, so that's a big number.
Oh, nice turn there. Man was there, cut off the angle. Look at the work rate from Thompson. Furrow up, still sprinting as hard as he can to try to get to the ball that is always going to be difficult to get to. Haven't seen junior defender Zach Burkhead get as far forward as I was anticipating this season. How do you see his role and how he's done so far?
Well, like we were mentioning earlier, with Sewanee playing that 3-back system, Zach Burkhead has had to change his system up a little bit.
We'll pick that up here in a moment. What a ball played! And Vaith was lurking. Dark invader there at the back post.
Yeah, so as I was saying, with this 3-back system, Zach Burkhead has to slide into more of a center back role, where he has to stay back. You'll notice he's not going up for this corner kick right here, but that's one thing that changes. He's used to playing a left back position, even left wing at sometimes, getting into the tack. So it's a different role, but I think he's picked it up fast, and what better of a player to transition.
"32 minutes, 4 seconds remaining here in the second half." Ball being pinged around like a ping pong ball. Here's Burkhead. Nice. Oh, past the defender. A little bit of trickery. Flair showing out in the boots of the Sewanee players. Sewanee really look to be enjoying themselves tonight. Have that extra bit of confidence. You see their amazing runs, flicks, tricks.
And you'll notice Brendan Mann, again, ambitious to get forward. He wants the ball on his feet, and he wants to have a go at goal.
Nicely tackled there. Referee didn't agree. Called that one back. A little late on the whistle, but Sewanee won't be too upset. Here comes the service. Looks to be a bit too far away from the danger area, but ball falls down. Huntington still on it. Take a bouncing volley.
One of the closer tries that Huntington's had in this half, let alone the entire game. Sewanee's really been controlling this entire game. Their high pressure has been suffocating for most of this Huntington team.
Here's McNeil. Thompson not happy Feels he's being targeted a little bit. Just told the referee every time. Alpo. Ball often just glues to his foot. Pass wasn't of the same quality though. Dudka. Nice physical play there from the two players.
Yeah, Huntington's still fighting here. I mean, they feel like they're not out of this game with 30 left to play.
That is something that can be said of this squad is Huntington, they're not going to give up. They're not going to just lie down, even though they are 4-0. Swanee had felt that they hadn't been at their best when they'd played Huntington in years past, but here tonight, they'll be happy so far with how things have gone. Nicely done there from Marco.
I'm not sure about that foul, honestly. Ref might be handing them a little bit of a foul. Give them a bit of a chance here. We'll see.
Here comes the danger. At the back post, Johnson there trying to clear. Now here's Ben Vaith. Takes a hit, still on his feet.
You'll notice the game has gotten way more physical. Ben Vaith has to be careful. Already on a yellow here.
Nicely headed on. Thompson ain't going to shy away from this one. Oh. He's brought down.
And again, there's that physicality that we're talking about. It's important. I think Huntington here is going to get a little chippy. It's important for Swanee to keep their head and finish this game without any true fouls.
This is right about the time I would start thinking about making those substitutions for the reasons that we just mentioned. Intensity picking up a little bit. Huntington players starting to go into a little bit more rash challenges. Here's Alpo back post.
And that's about probably the first time that those two have not connected on a set piece. I mean, Alpo has been hitting absolute dimes to Kyle Johnson's head. And here we see some of the substitutions we were talking about. We've got Will Shopovich and Zach Zimmerman here. Excuse me, Zach Shopovich will enter the game, not Will.
Alpo, I would assume he's done for tonight. Job well done. Huntington pressing forward. What could this end up in? Ball ricocheting around. Awkward play there. Be a throw in for Sewanee. Dudka. What's he done? Good turn. Oh.
That's a beautiful switch there from Zach Shopovich.
Thompson
and again,
running right at the player. Oh, so close. Just magic every time he gets it.
And on that drive, you really saw the similarities between Andrew Turk and Thompson on these sides. I mean, the hesitation that they have, they hesitate for a moment, they get close to the defender, and then they explode into space. And it's really, really difficult for a fullback, let alone a center back, to defend against.
They do have the confidence to drive straight at the defender. It's something a lot of players don't have.
Right.
Back post. Zach Burkhead very nearly had his first goal of the season.
And with Alpo Sapia out of the game, you'd expect Zach Zimmerman to be on these set pieces a little bit more. Very capable of whipping in some good balls to Kyle Johnson, looking for his third goal here.
There's the goal kick. strong header from Zach Zimmerman. Kyle Lovelock was the one who cleared it. Zach Buller on the ball here for Huntington. Didn't get his feet right. Too heavy of a touch, and it goes disappointingly out of bounds. Burkhead. McNeil. Switch over to Detka on his right foot. Oh, brilliant.
That's a great ball.
Overlap Zach Zimmerman on the left-hand side. Ball
Oh, that's
served
a
in.
great early service.
Randazzo from distance. Pulled the volley. Deflected out. That'll be a corner.
And it's these early services that Swanee puts in that really makes it dangerous. Huntington have not been clearing well this entire game, and Swanee's been all over them.
Johnson's at the near post. Ball just goes over the goalkeeper. Shapovich was there lurking. .23 minutes, 35 seconds remaining here in this one, second half. 8:31 local time. Double substitution being made. Thompson and Kyle Johnson will be subbed out. That'll do it for them. Zolper comes on.
Oh, and look at that.
Oh, it's brilliant.
What a
Coming
touch.
into the box on his right foot. On back onto his left. Takes a shot. It's saved. What a save from the goalkeeper.
What an interesting play that was. I mean, Drew Zolper just enters the game, takes a very, very heavy touch that none of the center backs were able to get to, uses his speed.
He's saying,
And
I have a
has
shot
a go.
from distance. Nick Zanke also entered the game. Number 22. Zanke is a tall player. 6 feet tall. Nicely done. Free whistles, but you like the effort.
Goes in a little hard there, but I like the effort there. Creates that high pressure, allows for those center mids time to get up and into that attack.
Zimmerman bursting forward. It goes down early. Referee doesn't give it. Now the two players on the sideline for Sewanee warming up. Here comes the service. Zolper did well there to get in front of the defender.
Yeah, I like the fight from Drew Zolper. He's a big guy, a very big freshman, let alone. But, you know, with the absence of Kyle Johnson here, you know, it's important to get that big presence back, and Drew Zolper is very capable of doing so.
Velasco has played almost every minute of this match. I'm not sure if he's even been subbed out. Seems like he can run for almost forever.
Well, yeah, I think him along with you know, a few others are very well conditioned. Sevi being possibly one of the best conditioned. He took his off season training very serious. he added a lot of weight, a lot of muscle mass, which is really important in D3 soccer. I think that's something that Sewannee's just kind of getting into is the importance of adding muscle mass, and so Sevi, I think it's going to really pay off in his game this year.
McNeil clears it out. James Murray back there at goalkeeper position. Wonder if we'll see a change or two.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it's absolutely necessary, considering James hasn't really seen much. It'd be great to give Evan Stuber a chance to play, but I think he'll be needed more in games that we're down with 10-15 minutes to play. But I would expect some changes coming here in the next 10 minutes or so.
Huntington driving forward as they lost it, looked hopeless on the attack, but as you're mentioning, there always is a balance between how much you want to change and how much you want to keep the same. If you change the whole boat, it's not going to stay afloat. So
Exactly. And as you mentioned, Sevi Velasco playing heavy minutes. That this back three has remained constant with Zach Burkhead, Johnny McNeil, and Ethan Dutka back there. And that's important. I think that's probably the most important positions that you really can't sub out are those back three, because once you do, you're really changing the entire flow of the game.
Zimmerman's eyes are darting here. He's lining up this free kick. Puts it in. Well done. Ball bouncing. Still in. Off a Sewanee player. Huntington will have possession. Larry, do you want to talk a little bit about Sewanee's biggest threat in the conference, Oglethorpe, and what they're capable of?
Yeah, well, we saw it with Oglethorpe last season. They really became the SAA powerhouse, nationally ranked, at one point, a top 20 team. So, they're one of our closest rivals. Obviously, they won the conference last year, and I think they're trying to build off that. They face some competition down there in Atlanta with Emory, but I think Oglethorpe has kind of taken that Atlanta throne, and we'll see what Sewanee can do. They look very good here tonight. And Marco Randazzo.
Velasco with his left foot, I believe, nicely taken there, and he got his goal.
Now, that was Sevi Velasco. Okay, I thought that was Marco Randazzo. But Sevi Velasco showing that quick feet that he is so good at.
Sewanee now find themselves 5-0 up. It's been a few games since I've seen a scoreline like this that the Tigers have been involved in, an absolute beatdown. And he'll come off after that goal. Icing on. It was a great night for Velasco. Bulgarino, number 14 on for Sewanee. First time I've seen him in action. He is a freshman.
And two good turns right there from him. I mean, he opens up his hips, and that's what you need out of any center mid, is that ability and confidence to be able to turn your hips and find the open space of the field.
Attempted switch. Didn't quite have the power on it. Coming up, Sewanee September 15th have a game at Washington and Lee. If that game is played, as we were talking about, they do have the hurricane threat. I hope all those listening in those affected areas stay safe. I do want to just thank viewers. We have people from all over the country tuning in. We thank you for your attention and your support. After the Washington and Lee game, Sewanee September 17th are here back at home against Fisk. We'll be covering that one. Kickoff is at 6 p.m. First conference game is the following one, just September 21st at Barry. And then a huge game away at Emory. As you were saying, they are one of the powerhouses in Atlanta. They're ranked number 7 in the nation right now. It's always a very tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough schedule. You know, Sewanee is still a young program, still developing. So the unfortunate situation of that is that a lot of these games have to be played away, and at tough, against tough teams. But we'll see how Sewanee responds now in the regular season and even into the playoffs.
It is one of the toughest runs in a Sewanee schedule I've seen in a while. You got Barry, Emory, and then Oglethorpe back to back to back. So not much of a break here. Sewanee enjoying the time they have. Right now 5-0 up, but it's going to get a lot tougher than this.
Right, and I think this game is a stepping stone. Covenant 2 games ago, was a tough loss, and I think they learned from that. And then, last game getting the win, and into today against Huntington.
Could be a 6th. Goalkeeper punched away. First substitution I've seen Huntington make. Have a lot of players on the bench. Don't look too animated, to be honest with you.
And speaking of substitutions, with Kyle Johnson on 2 goals, does Coach Tony Pasella put him back in the game in hopes of that third? Sewanee's not all about bolstering stats, but it is a cool bragging right to say that you've scored a hat trick in a college soccer game, so we'll see.
Junior Reed Turner is on the pitch now. Was electric in his freshman year. Very pacey player, scored over 100 goals in high school, which is not something many players have accomplished, so good to see him out on the pitch. Personal favorite of mine.
Here we go, Porter!
And here comes William Porter, first substitution of that back. And it looks like Evan Murray is back there as well. So it could be an overload in that back 3.
Porter's one of those long-legged defenders, also capable, as you mentioned, we're at Covenant, of the long throw-in, which is something that's really appreciated under head coach Tony Pasella.
Right, and I think it was even a strategy, going into last year of putting Will Porter.
Whoa! Very nearly into the back of the net for a 6th.
But Will Porter with that throw, he gives another aspect to this Sewanee team, allowing them for long throw-ins, that are very much like any free kick or corner kick.
Number 11, Fernando, is also on the pitch. One of the most improved Sewanee players.
He's very pacey. He loves to be on the ball. His quick movements are very dangerous. And yes, as you said, he's very much improved from the first day he came to Sewanee. And Marco Randazzo jogging off. What a game for him. 1 goal earlier. He scored that 2-touch finish. And here comes Justin Joseph onto the field now.
He's from
Number
Greenville,
13.
South Carolina, 6 foot, freshman.
Great flick on there.
Fernando testing the goalkeeper. Sewanee put on a very professional performance so far. Didn't get involved in the extracurricular activities or really stop playing the way that they should be.
And it's also important for these young players coming on. Huntington could try and get a little chippy with them. It's important as a young player that you keep your head and you don't put anything at jeopardy here.
Offsides will be the call. And the flag goes up. Good whereabouts from the Sewanee defense. Less than 11 minutes remaining here in the second half. Sewanee 5, Huntington 0. Great communication from Zolper.
Yeah, Drew Zolper, I mean, he is what a leader he's going to be in the coming years. He's very much like his brother Bobby Zolper. Today at lunch I was actually saying, I mean, it's weird. It's like they're clones. Like, you know, you don't know who's talking if your back's turned. But he's got a lot of redeeming qualities soccer-wise. I mean, he's strong, he's tall, he's quick. He can play both positions. I mean, he started the game out, you know, playing forward, and now he's shifted back into a center back role. And that versatility is amazing, you know, at the D3 level.
Another player warming up on the Sewanee sidelines. One thing you want to see out of substitutes in a game like this, nicely brought down there from Reed Turner, is something that they are doing right now, which is they aren't cool minutes. They aren't sit out here and trot around. This is serious. You play as hard as you can. Don't take it easy whatsoever.
Yeah, of course. I think, you know, Coach Basella always says it is you got to bring something. You got to bring something to the table, whether it's, you know, upping the tempo or staying composed, not losing the ball, or working hard in that high pressure system. And I think everyone to this point has done fantastic. So I'd like to see that keep up here.
I think there's a lot of maturity in the squad. From the few that I've talked to about players on the bench, maybe not getting the minutes they want, but the maturity, the real grown-man mentality of we're going to take the minutes we have and use them and make that an opportunity to prove what we can do. But even if we don't get on the pitch, we're going to continue to do everything that we need to do in practice. We're going to be supporting the team. We're going to be a vocal leader. We're not going to let our personal...
And that's a fantastic ball. And there's got to be talk there from Reed Turner. And who is that down on the floor? Maybe Justin Joseph. But there's got to be a little bit more talk there as they couldn't decide who wanted the ball. And excuse me, that was number 22, Nick Zanke. Nick Zanke and Reed Turner with the misunderstanding.
Another substitution about to be made underway. Zolper looks to be the one coming off, but as of right now, the trainer's tending to the Huntington player.
And the clock is stopped here with 8:41 left as a Huntington player is down on the ground. I wish the best for him, but we'll see. He still remains down. Looks to be possibly a knee injury.
I'm not a big fan of the Americanized way of keeping time.
It's difficult, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you know, as working with social media, I know it's hard to say, you know, when the goal was scored because, you know, in the European way, they say what minute it was scored in. You can't really say that. You have to say with, you know, 30 minutes left to play or something of that nature. So it is difficult. I would love for American soccer to kind of change that up and adopt the European style.
Turner with the header had an opportunity. Zanke brought down.
And he's fouled hard.
Got a kick in the back of the head there. Referee didn't spot it. That was nasty.
And you can hear Bobby Zolper over there on the sideline, continuing to cheer on his teammates, and that's a great quality about the Zolper brothers, the leadership that they bring to the field.
Referee swallowing his whistle here, just wanting play to continue, which is completely understandable. Nicely done. Nice build up. Wide left. Austin Young. Fernando brought down.
And he's fouled, yep, just outside the box. It'll be interesting to see who takes this free kick just outside the box, right at the corner of the 18. Possibly Fernando, possibly Alex. Alex has a great left foot, so maybe he's best suited for this ball right here.
Takes on number 26 from Oklahoma, a freshman. Got a nice frame on him, 6'1". He's lurking in the box as well. Fernando, what a ball. Very nearly connected with Sewanee attacker Porter. Shot from distance, deflected. Huntington, they'll have counterattacking opportunities, a very direct
Gotta
ball.
be careful here. James Murray, with confidence, comes out, picks up the ball. It's fantastic.
It wasn't the right option there on the pass. He had 3 or 4 attackers out wide to his left. They could have gotten it to them and then connected with that central run. I will tell you folks, it's a lot easier to say that looking up here than you have the bird's eye view than when you're down on the pitch and everything is moving so quickly.
Right, and a foul here, again, just outside the box. Now on the Huntington side. We'll see how they handle that, but interesting call again from the ref. It looked as if Will Porter got the ball, but the ref says differently.
Little under 6 minutes now, and injured Huntington players limping off with the trainer heavily. We hope he's okay, and it's nothing long-term or serious.
James Murray very vocal in net with how he wants the wall set up.
Oh!
And a fantastic save.
Top drawer save there from the sophomore goalkeeper, showing what he's capable of, getting an applause from the audience. It's been more in the background for most of this game, but gets his opportunity there and handled that fantastically.
Right, and that shows his maturity as well. I mean, you know, we've only got 5 minutes left to play. It's 5-0 at this moment. James could have, you know, been out of this game from the start, but he's kept his focus the entire time, and he comes across as to the right and makes a brilliant save.
I do want to point out in the audience, sitting here below me in the stands, is Sewanee women's soccer team, and just speaks to their character coming out here tonight and supporting. And head coach Patrick Johnson's got a fantastic squad there on the women's side of things, Sewanee soccer program. Huntington bring it down. Oh, nice pace there.
And then I'll go out for a corner, I believe. Yep.
Evan Murray.
Ref points to the corner.
One of the few opportunities from a corner that Huntington have had tonight. Ball put in. Floated once again. Back post too far. Couldn't connect with anyone. Frustrating for the visitors. Not sure what positives you can take. I think it's one of the games where you just need to bury the tape and move on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as we were mentioning earlier, this is a young team. They're in a regroup process. So when you lose something like that, you gotta leave it in the past and just focus on the next match.
Larry, looking forward to this Washington and Lee game. If it does go on, it isn't delayed due to the hurricane. What do you think Sewanee will be looking to get out of that match, and what are the expectations?
Well, I think, you know, regardless of Washington and Lee's status, I think Sewanee's big thing is that we always play as underdogs. You know, so you expect the win, but you understand that you may not be the better team, and so you got to go out there with full force. And clearly offside there was number 13, Justin Joseph.
Well spotted from the linesman. Minutes, 45 seconds remaining.
Great flick on there by Huntington. We got to fend it off here, though.
Whoa, they have an opportunity. Well done for Murray to come up. Cause the disruption that the attacker didn't want.
And these are the dangerous moments of the game, right? You know, it's you got 2 minutes left on the clock. You have a 5-0 lead. You'd hate to concede a goal here.
There's someone we haven't mentioned yet in our time together in the broadcasting booth is second-year assistant coach Patrick Bain. I know you worked with him for a year. What are your impressions of him, and what does he bring exactly to the program?
Yeah, well, I think, replacing Sam Lane is no easy task. Sam Lane's such a character, but also brings a lot to the table. But Pat Bain just came in, and we'll take a pause right here. That was a pretty poor tackle there.
Referee, I think he thought about a red card maybe for that one. Went for the yellow. It's a nasty challenge.
But continuing on about Pat Bain in his second season here, he's just done a fantastic job, and I think, when he came in, he was a little bit of a quiet guy, but he's really found his voice within this team. He's well liked, and he brings a lot to the table. This is a young team, a young coaching staff, but he's mature beyond his years, and I'm excited to see what he can do going forward.
Whistle blown. Some fans headed for the exit. I don't know if you heard in the background there a fire truck. Suwannee does have a firefighter of their own.
Alpo Sapila, yep. A very own firefighter.
A unique opportunity that Suwannee offers, being able to be a student athlete and also work in the fire department.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Fernando. Referee just wanting this one to be done with. More fans standing up, getting ready to exit this one. I thought there were going to be goals in this one. I didn't know it would be this many. 5-0. Suwannee have exceeded expectations and what they wanted to accomplish in this game. Came out with it with no real serious injuries. We're able to rest key players. Played well. We're able to get substitutes on. I think it all around fantastic for Suwannee.
Right, yeah, and I think Suwannee's, always had a little bit trouble putting, goals in the back of the net, but tonight no issue. Kyle Johnson, easily the man of the match, so great game.
All right, there we have it. Next game at home after the Washington and Lee game, which is September 15th, will be here at Pewitt Field, 6 p.m. against Fisk. My name is Spencer King. Thank you so much for joining us. I was here alongside Larry Matt. We'll see you again next time. This has been the Suwannee Sports Podcast.